Welcome to the Caddo Convos, the podcast that explores the vibrant community of businesses thriving in Caddo Office Reimagined. We're here to shine a light on the incredible entrepreneurs and professionals who make the most of our private offices, co-working spaces, and day office rentals in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs. Join us as we share their stories, celebrate their successes, and dive into the benefits of working in a space that's close to home but offers so much more than working from home. Let's get started with today's conversation. Joining me on the Caddo Convos today is Amged Gad with Resilient Pelvic Solutions. Amged, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much.
So glad to have you here.
You.
So let's talk about your customers. Who do you help with your business?
So I help mostly men with pelvic issues. I know this is not very common for men. It used to be mainly for women, like pelvic health, especially after pregnancy and stuff like that. But lately, also men start having issues with pelvic floor. So my specialty is just to help men with pelvic issues after prostatectomy, things like that, pain in the pelvic region. So it's part of the physical therapy. So I do a general PT, but also more specialized in pelvic floor.
So how did you get started doing this?
So I started back in 2019. Was just suggested by one of my friends, as another colleague. We used to get referrals in New York City, referrals for pelvic issues. Firstly, I was intimidated, what I'm gonna do, with especially in this kind of with men, it's so taboo and awkward. But then I get my education certificate, and I found there's very, very rare to find a male therapist that provide this kind of service. And a lot of men, they actually prefer to have a male therapist just to be more comfortable to talk about this things. Is because it's related to their confidence, especially for men in their 50s after prostatectomy, and they have incontinence. It's annoying. It's So that's why I felt I think I can make a difference in this field, and a lot of men, they can feel they can relate, I can relate to whatever they're feeling, not just the physical issue. And since then I'm so passionate about this field.
Well, it's important. We are men. It's our egos. A lot of who we are is based on our physical and what we're capable of. Right?
Exactly.
It could be strength and other issues. What's the first engagement? A consultation? How does it start? How does the process start with you?
Yeah, usually consultation. Usually men, they try to find me on Google. Then they start they call me, and they still they don't know if this is gonna be beneficial. If some of them, they do their homework. They actually educate themselves what is pelvic floor and if they need it. And some of them, they don't know. They just get a referral from their doctor that they say basically just try to find pelvic floor specialists. So they call me, and we do consultation to find what actually is causing the issue. Yeah. So I'm trying to help them and coaching them actually to find what was the driver for the symptom that they have, and how to find a game plan for how to navigate, how to manage those symptoms.
Now, is there a physical element involved? A physical therapy,
Definitely.
Things, exercises, and those? Talk me through those.
Definitely, yeah. So we do the evaluation, and if there's anything more malalignment in their body, sometimes those pelvic issues are the main driver for those symptoms is the spine and issues in the spine. So we trying to find like if there is any issue with the posture, with their like lumbar alignment, and also like and then I check like the nervous system if there's any issue. Sometimes it's honestly it's global, like it's just the whole body, the stress, how we deal with stress. And the pelvic floor region and the pelvic floor muscle, it's they call it, it's an emotional organ. So sometimes when like and most of men, we don't know how to deal with stress. We think like everything is okay and I'm fine, there's nothing, but we store this energy that this kind of like stress has to go somewhere. So pelvic floor tends to get more tight without even being like without noticing that. Right. A lot of men, they actually, when they come to me like the first time, they don't even recognize their pelvic floor. So we start like by finding the driver. So if it's emotional, if it's psychological, if it's physical, if it's more spinal, it's nervous system. So I'm trying to find that, and then I try to, based on that, like give them like exercises to change their posture, to give them like more education if there's something related to like how they deal with stress. And sometimes I refer them out as well, like I refer them to counselors, to if there's issue in their sexual life, sometimes I refer them to sexologist, or like just to see what actually, if it's not just physical, right, but the physical part, or for like weakness, if it's weakness or tension in the muscle, I treat that. There's also I use something called biofeedback, just to help the patient to be more aware of like how much tension that they actually hold in the pelvic floor and how to release it. So things like that, like usually that's the case.
So I imagine it starts off with a physical, and exactly. Men, we hate physicals, but we understand the need for it. If you ever played, many men have played sports in their lifetime and stuff like that, so everything needs to be checked, physically.
Exactly.
And then is there medication involved? Do you refer them to a doctor to get, can you prescribe, or do you have someone that can prescribe medication for them?
So no, I don't prescribe any medication, and usually their primary care or like the urologist, whoever like refer them, they take care of this part. But I just need to be aware of the medication just to help them, and I try to help them to also not to be leaning on like pain medication or anything that can mask the pain without fixing the issue. So I'm trying to help them physically, helping their body to heal itself. That's instead great. Of just depending on medication or other things. So we take care of like I go over like their diet, their like water intake, things like that, so trying to help them with exercise, like meditation, thing like I look at the body like holistically, not just this part. So
mind and
everything,
body.
Exactly.
The connection.
Exactly. And trying to make this connection help them to how to kind of like manage all of this, because that will lead to a better outcome.
What areas do you serve? Is it geographical, or how? Where your customers come from?
Yes, because I am the only male therapist that provide this service here in Dallas-Fort Worth area. So a lot, like there are other places that provide male pelvic floor therapy, but I'm the only male therapist. So I've been like having clients that they came from Oklahoma, from Tyler, from people like from this area, like Flower Mound. So all over the place, honestly, like Waxahachie, like different cities, because they feel it's very rare to find. So that's why they don't mind to travel like for an hour and a half. So.
And they come to your office, or do you make house calls?
So like definitely part of it like has to be like more in person. So I see them first like in person, and if they can keep traveling, that would be great. But if they have any like if it's hard for them to travel, sometimes I just we can make like some of the visits more virtual, because it's gonna be more educational than just need to follow or do anything physically that I need to see them in person. Yeah.
And we're recording the podcast, the Caddo Convos, today here at the Flower Mound location within one of the 9 locations currently for Caddo Office Reimagined. And you have an office here?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me why you chose Caddo for your location.
Definitely it's very neat, very like clean, and it feels like more comfortable. It feels like so. I like the place. I like and also it's very. I feel it's centered. The Flower Mound is kind of like, I feel it's kind of like centered between Dallas, Fort Worth area, and because I knew like I will having people coming from all over the place, so I tried to make it like more centered.
That's terrific.
Yeah,
that's a good choice. Is it close to home for you?
Yes.
Oh,
very close, which is great. Like 5 minutes.
Oh, that's one of the great benefits.
Yes,
being close to home is wonderful.
Exactly.
How do your customers reach you? They referrals? They come through your website? Talk to me about how usually you find them.
So
they find you?
three main referral sources, like physicians. Definitely they refer, like physiatrist, urologist, but mainly urologist, I would say that. And also the second source is Google. Google definitely now, like people find me, like I have like good ratings, which is definitely helpful for clients. And the third one is like third source for fear is the word of mouth, which is actually very it's hard, because a lot of men they kind of like don't talk about this. So they keep it statement. So I feel like I have some brave men that they actually talk to their friends, and they they kind of like share that they have the same issue, so they refer them to my office.
That's terrific. Yeah. That's terrific. Tell me a success story. I know you have a number of clients.
Yes.
Someone that had a problem, finally admitted they had the problem, found the help. Walk me through some success of one of your patients. Obviously, we're not mentioning names. Yeah.
Sure. I do remember this case so fondly. So there's a guy, like he came to me like he was like in severe pain. We're trying to find like what could be causing this pain. This pain actually started like he was when he started having this pain. He has to get like admitted to the hospital. He went to the ER, and they were trying to find like what actually could be causing that. They definitely gave him medication, and then they sent him home. He didn't once the pain medication went off, like he started feeling the same things again. So when he started like with me, I was trying to find what actually could be causing the pain. We figured like the main driver for this pain. So his story before this pain started, that his wife was was hospitalized, and he was under a lot of stress. He has like family, 2 kids, and he felt like a lot of stress, and somehow this stress led to this kind of pain, severe pain.
Wow.
He couldn't sleep, like severe pain in the pelvic region.
Yeah.
So after like a few sessions, and he started feeling kind of like I don't know what happened, but somehow there's power that is unlocked like in his body. Like I'm not just talking about the physical part, because we were talking even about like how he's dealing with stress, what he needs to do, like things like that. And we do a lot of breath work, which actually really helped. So after a few sessions, and his wife she was better, and she was helping him and trying to kind of like help him through this tough time. And so I do remember that he was like, I was telling him like how much your wife like is impacting your like the whole story. So he told me like, yeah, she definitely she's helping. She's like I felt like the without her, like I can't like maybe I'll be like not living like
Wow.
or do, because he got like a lot of suicidal thoughts during that time.
Yeah, pain
So
can do that to you.
yeah, definitely, yes. So so kind of like I was just like laughing, like okay, so try to express that, try to get her like anything like flowers, some express this emotion, because whatever she gets from like just talking about his stress. So I do remember the next session he came and his wife came, and they were like, his wife was telling me like she entered, he usually comes by himself, and she said like thank you don't know the impact that this pelvic floor therapy has done like in our life, our like our marriage, our home, our family. So I felt like the impact is not just can have like on the person himself or his body, but also it can really impact the whole family.
Right.
So because a pelvic floor is not just we are not just treating the physical part, but I think it gets to this emotional, and because like it affect their day-to-day life, their sexual life, like it affects a lot of like aspect in their life. So definitely it was like so I felt that pelvic floor, it can make difference. So yeah, this is the story that I still remember, and definitely this person, I was discharged, was doing a lot better, and yeah, he didn't like have this pain, which is great. Yeah.
So it sounds like you treat not just the symptoms and the area, you're treating the whole body, and effectively the community that surrounds this person, or affecting the community that surrounds this person.
Exactly. Yes.
That's terrific.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the best way to contact you now? Let's say if we're not referred, you mentioned Google. What should they Google to find you?
So if you just Googled like resilient, but not with S, it's Z instead of S, you find me, or resilient pelvic solution, or even like men's pelvic health. You will find you find my office.
That's terrific. Great talking to you today. Really enjoyed having you on the Caddo Convos.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today on the Caddo Convos podcast. A huge shout out to our incredible network of members for making our community vibrant and supportive. If you're looking to boost your productivity and reduce the isolation of working from home, consider joining us at Caddo Office Reimagine. Our spaces are designed to meet your evolving needs, support remote work, and foster a sense of community that's hard to find at home. Whether you're a startup aiming for growth, a freelancer seeking a professional setting, or a company looking to optimize resources, Caddo offers a perfect blend of flexibility and innovation. By joining us, you'll be a part of a dynamic business ecosystem that helps you thrive. For more information, visit caddooffices.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Caddo Convos.